YouTube, it is I, Sakarma, coming to you with another quick battle from Total Brohammer. This one against the vampires, and I myself am head of the singing ghosts of the vampire coast. This one is a funky little one. My opponent brought an interesting build, and it's one of the few times I actually paid attention to the map, and I used it to my advantage in choosing my army. It's a rarity for me. Usually I don't really pay attention to the map. It's one of my faults, but in this case I did. So it's a bit of a long battle, so we'll play out as I go over the army composition. So I have a couple of pole arms here, a couple of the zombie deckhands with pole arms in the back. I think I have three, one along the cannon, two over here. They're a very good unit. I think they're the cheapest armor-piercing unit in the game. Look at my voice cracking like a sexy lady. And I think it's because I drank a little too much last night, fellas. But anyways, and fellas. Yeah, I think they're the cheapest armor-piercing unit in the game, so that makes them pretty useful. Not to mention they have bonus versus large, so yeah, not a bad little unit to have. Unbreakable, very, very good unit, very all around pretty good. Like they'll just whittle down even a little bit of damage on units is pretty useful. Their stats, of course, are terrible, but they're very cheap. You have the Morngull Haunter, who I like a lot. I think it's a very, very good unit. He's just hard to kill because he's got a lot of hit points. He has the hunger, he has pretty high speed, and he has that resistance to missile of 30%, which isn't bad. And he also has not bad armor. 50 isn't terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible, so he's not a bad little unit either. So, Cannonade. I have Diastora, whatever her name is. Sorry, Klylastora Direfin. Fucking dumb name. Anyways, yeah, I have her here. And she's got pretty decent stats immediately. 150 armor is crazy. Tons of health. No way to heal, of course, because I do not have vampires on her. But she's physical of 10%. Like, she's a tank. She should be a tank, but of course she's a huge hitbox. I brought Tidecall, Denizens of the Deep. Kiss of the Deep. Oh, that's just the passive. And Fog of the Damned, which is a really, really good spell. Negative 8 leadership and negative 26 melee attack is great for pretty much fighting all Greenskins. And then some other nonsense. I don't know. Song of Enthrallment. Sure, why not? I don't know. This is the first time I ever played with her, I think. And of course, the zombie ghost thing. And then I bought 3 pole arms with great weapons just to fight anything large and to try and deal with Black Orcs because I figured they would do better against Black Orcs than pretty much anything else on this roster. So right away, I also have a Cannonade, or Carronade rather. So the Carronade's fighting into the spider, getting some good damage. My opponent's going to do some juking and jiving, trying to avoid. He's got 2 of the bad boys. On his front line is Orc Boys. On this flanks, he's got some Savage Biggins with, Savage Orc Biggins rather. Savage with Biggin. That's not like really an addition. You can't just be like you are a Savage Biggin. Silly Sakarma. 3 Orc Arrow Boys, and then 2 Black Orcs. So I guess the idea behind his build is sort of, it's pretty smart. And who's Lord? We should look at it. So he's got a Goblin Great Shaman, and he brought just a few, like the Laser Beam spell, and Itchy Nuisance, and Gork'll Fix It. So it's solid. I don't know what you like Gork'll Fix It for, though. What's really that fast on my army? Almost nothing. In any case, so he went pretty wide, pretty cheap little Goon Squad. That's probably like 1,000 spend there between the two of them, maybe 1,200. So that's pretty good value. I also have 3 Direwolves here, just to run in the back line, cause harassment. It's always good to bring Direwolves as the vampire coast in order to pressure the back line, because a lot of factions will bring really wide builds and they'll try and outsnipe you with their shooting, with their archers, and it'll work more often than not unless you could pressure their back line, because there's no really other way to get in there. Of course you can bring like Colossi and other ways to sort of deal with them, but ultimately I think the best way is with Scurvy Dogs. Pretty effective unit. In any case, so that's the builds. So you see he hides behind the face of this cliff here, so I can no longer get shots at him. So I start aiming at these Black Orcs. We'll just speed up a little bit here. So I'm just firing in these Black Orcs, getting some really, really good damage. Of course, they cannot heal, so the other things that are really threatening my thing. So I actually send in, I send in my wolves there just to slow them up and make them ball up, so I can get more shots. I do lose a lot of wolves, but it does slow his advance a little bit. I'm just trying to harry and harass him, pardon me, to make sure he can't get too close to me without taking some severe damage. So we're just going to fire on. And also, as he's coming up this little mouth of the pass, he's going to be perfectly aligned for my Carronade just to wreck him. But you can see here, just like perfect down the line. We've already killed almost half this unit of Black Orcs, which is really good value. They're like $1,200, right? $1,150, something like that. So we're getting, that's $575. That's pretty good. No, $575, right? No, it's $575. Does equal $1,150 indeed. All right, math has been completed. Anyway, so we're just harassing him, just trying to keep him on his toes. You can see we're slowing up this advance. We're making his guys have to stop and reform. He's sending the Savage Orc Biggins. I'm just trying to, force out a mistake here. Maybe he'll send his Savage Orc Biggins too far, or forget about them, or whatever. And meanwhile, we are slowing him down. We're getting these beautiful shots right down the line here, just smashing these Black Orcs. Already we killed 11 models, which is well over 15% roughly. What am I trying to do math here for you guys? Who gives a fuck? Anyways, Yeah, total math hammer, guys. That's what we're going to do now. I'm actually going to be relaunching this channel. We're just going to solve math problems on Saturday mornings. That's my new plan. Because that's what's fun it is called. So we're moving this guy up here a little bit. Trying to get, again, perfect line of sight here on these bad boys. Going to do some serious damage. The spider's coming here. He has left his archers undefended, so I was going to get in some scurvy dog action. But he wards me off with these spiders. But again, the longer they're over here, the better it is for us. I actually shoot the cannon. I'm pretty sure I hit my own dogs here because now these guys are in range. Oh no, that's the arrows of them. Arrows of the spiders, rather. These scurvy dogs I pull back here. These ones are pulling around here. These ones I'm pulling around the flank so I can get them when I need to. So he's just lining his troops up. But we've gotten a ton of damage done already, which is pretty fantastic. We're pretty happy with this. We are just going to keep pressuring him with these scurvy dogs. Oh, huge shot right down the line. Oh, she's murdering Black Orcs. Like, this makes me so sad to see because I love Black Orcs. And even though I'm on, I'm this team, I'm on the winning side here, it still gross to watch. Any case, so this is happening. We're trying to pressure them a little bit. We'll speed up a little bit more. So it's just, yeah, happening. We're going. And then the lines will eventually engage. So you can see we've already wrecked these Black Orcs to oblivion. These spiders are way behind because they were facing these scurvy dogs. So there's no support in his front line in this initial fight. And that's not going to go well for him. So we're going to try in here. And again, we're wary of the Wa. So we're going to send these guys in first to try and ward off the Wa. And this one as well, clear Dostrophin. So I just want to get them into the fight right now so that they at least negate the Wa charge, because Wa does boost the charge and all that, right? So I want to make sure that they're fighting before they get that Wa charge, and that'll just help us out in general. But initially when the lines mean, I'm like, oh, this is looking bad for me. I don't know how I'm going to be able to deal with this. But a lot of these are just orc boys. Of course, the Black Orcs on the back and the Savage Orc Biggins are scary. It is very truncated, this engagement, because of the cliff wall here. So it's very small, which actually favors us because of all our spears. He brings in the Arachnok Spider, but she's being damaged by the cannon. She can Song of Enthrallment, so she has very low melee stats, 28. And she is applying poison, but Clayosh Dostrophin is just a better fighter in general. A laser beam comes in here, but kind of whiffs. We are bringing in our Depth Guard now to charge with these Biggins, who they should do well, although they probably also are killed. I wonder how they trade against them. This very healthy unit of Black Orcs is coming up around the flank here. I am going to summon up some running Prometheans to go at these Savage Orc Biggins. Probably the best fight for them, but the most damage will be done by them. Rather, it's the most valuable target for them versus Black Orcs, except for Black Orcs. Morgul Hunter, he's going after these Black Orcs, doing a good job of it. Of course, he's healing. We've been able to scare off the spider, and the boundaries of the map here are very, very close, making it very favorable for us, if only because when they flee, we don't flee and they do. So when they flee, they'll get off the map and we won't. Of course, we just crumble. Over here, I've had some dogs on their lords and all that, just messing up their archers. You can see my hounds are paying off more than enough their value, and these knights are just coming around, hitting there left and right. This Arachnok Spider's been getting shot by the Carronade. It's been fighting these pole arms. It's been hit by these knights in the back and these denizens of the deep, the Broughton Prometheans. So just overall, we're just on a huge route right across the way. And you can see which way this battle's going. So it wasn't particularly close, but I just want to show how you can use certain things to your advantage, like the map. I mean, this isn't anything new, but especially against the Greenskins, you can just harry them because they don't really have any effective ways to deal with direwolves, because all their cav is really slow, except for like spiders. I guess if they brought spiders would have been smart. I always tend to bring a unit of spiders. And here we go with a glorious ghost charge. Oh, he laser beams them. That's so dope. But yeah, we're going to get up on that, and that's going to be pretty much it. I mean, his spiders are fleeing off. The map is, I mean, just really favored us, and the cannon was able to do a lot of damage. Maybe a couple of catapults would have been able to mitigate it and pretty much destroy it, because the carronades aren't too effective, and I did not bring more vampires, of course. But in any case, yeah, we're just the Morgul. Ooh, the Morgul's getting beat up by this vampire, this Arachnok Spider, which you would expect. But now he's surrounded by pole arms and the like. Our ghost knights are trying to get rid of the Goblin Great Shaman. Otherwise, everything's looking okay for us, and yeah, and that'll be it. So GG, my opponent. Was a fun little match. It was an interesting. I think that build would work. The thing I would change with his build is I don't mind the. I feel like Grimgor's not a bad lord in this. There's not a whole lot that can kill Grimgor because he's small. If you get him into melee, he'll be okay. Of course, they can shoot him, but yeah, I guess it's also you have to worry about those fucking deck droppers. I get to really explore deck droppers rather, but everyone says they're great, so I have to get them a shot. But yeah, it's hard because they're one of those factions that's flying ranged armor piercing, so that makes it very difficult for you as a Greenskin player to counter, unless you bring a lot of, like, you could bring some spider riders with arrows. That would work. Yeah, even Wurzag's not bad because you can pin them in place and shoot them. You gotta be scared about the Carronade, of course, because Carronade did a lot of work. And you see, he got like what, 3 chevrons? Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So it's hard to say. It's the same calculation you have to make whenever you're facing a faction with the access to death magic, because they can just Spirit Leech your Lord. And if they Spirit Leech your Lord and then they dive bomb your Lord, Greenskins have no reply to that. It's basically, I mean, it's not over. Of course you can win those battles, but you're just always going to have to fight uphill because they can easily kill your Lord. And then, of course, Arcanum Forging makes it even that much worse. But in any case, good battle, fun battle. I finally looked at the map beforehand, and you can see the success that happened because of it. I think it was some interesting direwolf play on my part. I don't know if you know, I can pat myself on the back. Yeah, anyways, good GG to Butcher. I hope you guys are enjoying the content again, and I'll see you around the bend.